Can a picture change the world? Will be some pictures forever in the viewer's mind? It's true that a picture worth more than 1,000 words? We live in a visually media society. Pictures fill the media from magazines to posters to television to video games to internet. That is the reason why images are very important today, especially in advertising. One of the most commented topics about communication is the powerful of text versus images. So let's test it. Some people say they are not visual, probably not as much as others, but if I say the word banana, you probably will not see the letters B, A, N, A, N, A. You will see something like this. Besides, even texts are communicating visually through fonts, size, or colors.
Stop to ask me, hey Sonny, been here long, you okay? This is rubbish, this painting, just rubbish, I say. I talked to the artist, didn't help in the least, so I stared for a while, but my anger increased. This isn't art, this white paint and black dot. Oh, it's a picture of a dot, but art it is not. The janitor nodded his head up and down, cleared his throat, and uttered a sound that was like an agreement, but more like a laugh. Said, Sonny, you've looked at this more than I have, but whenever I look I don't see the white. And with that he leaned over and turned off the light. And with the light off, the dot grew and grew, till it covered the canvas, and he said, who knew that in the dark every painting looks exactly the same? Same portrait, same landscape, same romance, same shame. Could be reddish or yellowed or purpley or blue or anything, 'cause Sonny, that's what the dot turns into. He went off and he mopped and he whistled his tune, and I left, walked out, looked up at the moon, which looked vaguely and oddly familiar that night. So familiar, a black canvas with a dot that is white.
This, of course, is Comic Sans, the villain of the evening. It's one of many bad ones. It was designed in the mid-90s by a man named Vincent Conair from Microsoft. The banned Comic Sans manifesto would remind us that Comic Sans as a voice conveys silliness, childlike naivete, and irreverence. Well, sometimes that's appropriate. He designed the typeface after looking at comic books that he had in his desk drawer at work. He had some Batman comics, he had the Watchmen graphic novel series, and so what he was trying to do is design a typeface that was a more conversational and upbeat replacement for Times New Roman. And in that sense, okay, maybe he succeeded, but it's out of control. So what we have here is a sign that's warning us if we take our boat out on the water at the wrong time, that we might actually die. And so I would ask why someone chose to use a conversational upbeat font to tell us that our life might be in danger. And that would bring me to say that good design, good visual communication is all about being context appropriate.
According to Marita Sturken and Lisa Cartwright, seeing is a process of observation and recognizing the world around us in a somewhat arbitrary way. But looking is an active process of making meaning from that world. Looking involves learning and interpreting. Every image is like a baby crying for attention. But now the question is, what is necessary to make an image powerful enough to call our attention? When an image catches us, it's not only for itself. Precisely, is it only because of us? Because when we look at it, we give it a meaning. As the famous motto, the beauty is in the eyes of the viewer, this is the notation. For example, an apple in a connotative way is just an apple, but in a denotative way, an apple could mean sin or desire. The way we decode is really important for the image makers, advertisers and brands. Because to make effective their message, we should decode exactly what they want to transmit us.
You've all been here before, and yet, you've never been here. Sure, the uniforms, brightly lit menus, professionally photographed food, plastic tables, and light-colored chairs are recognizable to us all. But this is just the intended design of familiarity. Whether this is a picture in Harrisonburg, Virginia, or Moscow, Russia, this image will seem commonplace. Everything we see has been purposely designed to be seen a certain way, and only that way. We will never think about it, because all McDonald's restaurants and food look the same. The food is fast, and it tastes good. Isn't that all that matters? Why should we care? In the context of persuasion, McDonald's advertising and restaurants have devised special doors to communicate it to us through images. The familiarity we experience, the comfort of expecting exactly what we have been shown, takes on rhetorical meaning. Once we break down the images that have become staple parts of our food experience, we can learn more about the power of images and why we see them in a certain light. A Media Post article reported that in the year of 2008, McDonald's spent some $823 billion on advertising alone. So why does McDonald's spend an exorbitant amount of their revenue on advertising? Well, not only has it made the McDonald's Golden Arch more identifiable than the Christian cross, but it can also be analyzed in the rhetorical concept of presence. As defined by Charles A. Hill, presence is how prominent an idea or concept is in the immediate consciousness of an audience. Following personal experience, images create the most presence because they are directly perceived by our minds.
Appropriation is fundamental in the story of the arts. It can be understood as the use of borrowed elements in the creation of a new work. It is about adopt, borrow, recycle, revision, revaluation, variation, version, interpretation, parody, allusion. The use of appropriation in advertising is to catch public attention through humor or showing familiar situations by new points of view.
It's beautiful up here. Everything seems so peaceful.
Who are you?
I'm a dancer. I love to dance.
It didn't matter.
We love decoding. According to several studies, decoding provides pleasure to the viewer, stimulate their minds, and make them to participate.
William Lawson's No Rules, Great.
Involving the feedback, the message will stay more longer in the target mind, and a familiar content, which we received impacts before, will make the permanence stronger.